I'm Coda back again with part 2 of my interview with Forst, aka Lars. And this was on my Twitch stream, or the w.twitch.tv/TheMacyCoda, and we played about with Forst's kits. We also talked about the Forest, how the Forest looks so great, and if you want your games to look as good as the Forest, well, sit back, find out how in this video, and I'll see you all in a second. So normally I ask a question. Have you ever worked on any games using Unity or not? You know, that's a question that I say every now and again whenever somebody comes on for an interview. And I feel a bit silly asking you, but I will say, have you worked on any games that have used Unity, Mr. Lars?
Yes, I have.
Is it anything we might have heard of?
You might, yeah. I did some work on Ghost with a Tail. That little mouse exploring some ruins made by CG, which always pops up if you look at made with Unity. I'm still working on the Forest.
The Forest. Assigned to flood lighting and reflection shaders. I thought we already did.
Survival game. I worked on a quite ambitious project, a truck riding simulation.
A truck riding simulator?
A truck riding simulator, yeah. Covering whole Germany, so it's quite interesting to get all the streaming right and all the floating point things and stuff like that.
Which one's that one? What's that called?
It's called On the Road.
On the Road? I have not seen that. Have you got a link you can send me on Skype? Can we see it? Is it something we can see yet, or is it all top secret? Nobody can see anything.
No, it's not top secret. It's an early access on Steam. It's let me see if we can find a link.
What did I broke something.
So here comes the link to Steam.
This was when I had this as gamma. It was working fine before. Then I changed. Then you made me change it to linear. Everything stopped.
Yeah, and just
I'm going to put it back.
To answer the question, right now I'm working on Project White.
Project what?
Project White.
Project White?
White. It was showcased 2 years ago on Unite. Where was it? Somewhere in California.
So how big is this? Is it the whole of Germany?
The whole of Germany, yeah. Right now it's just the half, but it's going to be the whole of Germany.
So it's like that Euro Trucks game.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between this and the Euro Trucks game?
I'm not a player, don't I? It uses deferred shading, I can say, and Euro Truck doesn't. No, but from the little I know about the game, it's, they support different. I don't know all the words for it. You can have different cars and different trailers, and the whole simulation is a bit more complex. So you do not just drive from A to B, but you have to plan your route. So I can pick up something at point C, and then I go to B and pick up another thing and deliver it on B, then go back to C and pick up another thing. And
So does this use your ATG and AFS and your CTI trees, or is this like some kind of custom?
no, it's actually it's custom. I started to work on this, just doing some minor tweaks, but you can't really do such a huge scale environment using standard stuff, because it's just not made uh, for doing this. Well, Unity's built-in solutions and AWS, for instance, is not designed to handle such a huge world. You have to imagine that on any point on the map, you see 9 terrains, and whenever you move about 1 kilometer, the complete world has to be shifted to work against the floating point arrows. And it takes a while to shift the amount of objects which are in the scene. So, for instance, they started to work with speed trees, and whenever you came to that border, to that 1 kilometer border, then speed trees spiked up something like 50 milliseconds to move something around 3,000 trees, which was unacceptable, of course.
It does look very nice.
And then we developed a tree system which could handle this quite well. So now we have up to 40,000 trees.
Bloody hell, 40,000 trees!
And the spike is around 5 milliseconds or something. Yeah, and it's a mixture between AFS tree creator rendering and a custom billboard solution.
Oh, that's just crazy. Okay, I broke your... Let's just put new prefabs down, because these prefabs... advanced terrain grass, foliage shader, that should be just not being picked up by the editor. What did I do? I did something, and I've re-imported, and we should be fine. Maybe it was. Hang on. Let's go back to the Unity window. Hey Mark, I've broken everything. Oh, Project White. Okay, let's have a look at this then before I go back into that. So is this a German team of devs?
No, it's Swedish.
Swedish?
Yeah.
They do make good games, the Swedes.
They do.
Oh. That's nothing new. How's his wood? Oh, you missed some amazing wood. He's got in his trees some beautiful tessellation. Oh, and multiple materials he had on the bark. Oh my word, those barks. Oh, oh, his wood was so good. So good. What the hell is this person doing?
Killing.
What's going on? What's the sound on this?
Well, child, you can easily be killed.
Okay, it's just talking over it. So, this baddies? This is a game that he's working on as well, Mark. This is Lars. He's the creator of the Advanced Foliage Shader and Advanced Terrain Grass and Custom Tree Importer and a load of other stuff. Oh, those hands look lovely. Oh, I'm jealous of those hands. So this is done in Unity as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't look it. There you go. Nice bit of compliment there. We go back to what we said earlier about always making Unity. Remove that phrase of, oh, that looks like it made a Unity game. So this is using, again, customization of your stuff, or is this out of the box AFS and ATG and things?
No, right now in that demo there is nothing for me. It's 2 years old and then just started to work in some things. But it'll be related to foliage and trees as well.
Ah, so yours is going to be a lot nicer. Good. Let's get back into Unity. So while we sit and work out what I broke on this scene, let's open up full demo. There's that magic missing prefab. Click play. Okay. See, the ground looks nice. Grass looks lovely. Explain a bit about the wind. What makes the wind, the grass interacting with the wind special here?
Well, you have several octaves of different wind things, and you have a gust wind going through the grass. But I think the very special thing about the grass is the specular lighting you get on it. So it feels a bit more grounded than standard grass, where the terrain is very shiny at low viewing angles, but the grass just looks flat, and here you can see translucency and specular lighting on grass.
Yeah, normally when you see grass, it just looks like plastic stuck on the ground. This looks lovely. What happened? I managed to break one of his demos, the one that I really wanted to show, which was the wind blowing the trees and stuff. But can I pause this and change the direction of the wind in real time as well?
Yes, you can.
Let's do it. Let me redeem myself somewhat. Alright, so get rid of maximize on play. Let's put this hierarchy on this side. Let's go crazy. And here we go. Here's the wind. So if I now where did my wind go? Here it is.
Does it change anything?
Yep, I can. There you go.
Yeah, okay.
It's very small. I might make it a little bit bigger. Here we go. I can make this one a bit smaller here. There we go, guys. This is real time. So you could, I mean, the implications of this in your game are limitless. So imagine you've got your game now and you're a giant and your giant decides to fart. Now your giant can actually change the direction of wind every time he farts in real time. Can you change the intensity?
Yes.
So here we go.
It's all driven by the wind zone. So
what do you want me to do? Should I change the speed here? What should I do?
No, that's the wind script that grabs the input from the Unity wind zone. So if you want to change the strength, you'll probably change the strength on the wind zone, because it would also drive trees or particle systems, things like that, and then ATG will pick it up and send it to the grass.
Okay. Oh.
And don't make it go nuts.
No, I like it to go nuts.
Okay. You
Look at
like to
that!
break things.
I do love to break things. Underwater current, exactly for our underwater game. I'm going to make a Subnautica ripoff. Look at it freaking out! Hey, this is awesome! Ah!
Clapping hands.
I would love to see this combined with Cascade. Is Antonio still in chat? Antonio, I want to see this with Cascade, that we can have wind blowing over the rivers on Cascade, and then all the plants in the river being affected with this beautiful. Oh, this is just lovely. Look at that. There's no effect. There's no like jerkiness whatsoever. It's beautiful. The lighting's everything about this. I need to show you the trees. Damn it, man. Don't save. Obviously I broke something. But this is, if you hang on, let's find, click play, make it big. Oh, my son just smacked his head against the wall. Here we go. So let's find some more. Oh, hang on, sorry about that. Just went up into the sky. Oh, done it again.
You see the branch texture on the terrain. There should be some more variety. You're just going through the outskirts where I didn't want. Didn't want to add more details.
Trying to find where you've got. Where's all the good stuff? Because there was some, like you say, some more variety.
To look back. And there you see on the upper left corner, there are brown marks on the terrain.
I'm imagining when you see these sorts of fields in real life and those gusts of winds come and you see the field swept by it, a beautiful sight. Yeah, exactly. So what's the performance of this? I mean, if I click on the stats, I'm getting all of this beautiful lighting, wind blowing through the grass, still hitting at 70 FPS, 68, 670, 70, 68.
Well, it's nothing special. No, the special thing is if you move, you don't get spikes from the terrain engine right in the patches.
Here we go. Here's a bit of variation. Do you know what I love about this stuff? I love that it isn't all just blowing in the same direction at the same time, like a big blanket. It all just feels real. So yeah, could you use this for blowing seaweed? I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't use this for an underwater scene.
No, there is no reason you couldn't do so.
And look at that. So now if we've got, this is lovely. But if I wanted to have touch bending in here, on these as well at the same time, is this kind of like you were saying about with Vegetation Studio? As I get close to this, then you would instantiate the model with the touch bending on it, with the colliders. And as I go away, then you put back in the terrain grass.
No, I can't do that with this solution.
So what would you do?
Well, someday I'll come up with a solution using vector displacement fields and then add it directly to the vegetation on the ground. But that might take some more time.
Okay, everyone spam the asset store and buy a load of his stuff to help motivate this guy to give us everything that we ever want in our lives. You should be like working for Unity, man. This is insane. This should be like standard stuff with Unity. This is why everyone goes over to Unreal. This should be standard as part of the Unity kit.
Yeah, well, they're working on their HD render pipeline, and they just published the Book of the Dead. Did you know that grass there is rendered as trees?
It's what? Say again? Grass is rendered as trees.
Yeah, the grass are tiny little trees. Not here, but in the Book
The Book of the Dead, yeah. What? What?
Yeah. Grass is tiny little trees.
Okay, that just feels like it's cheating.
Yeah, they were cheating a lot there, of course.
It does
So,
look beautiful though. Give them that.
so in order to come back to some features, ATG supports grass, and unlike the standard Unity grass, this grass follows the terrain slope.
Yeah, look at this. No floating grass.
Well, actually, it's floating a little bit, but that's just the way I like grass. I don't like the harsh cut between the terrain and the grass, so I always lift it a little bit, and I remove most of the from the grass texture when it comes towards the ground, so you do not have that visual cut. And see, it's just a few triangles and nothing more. So grass usually rotates and follows the slope of the terrain, but you also have the possibility to add always upright oriented plants like the nettles you can see there.
Yeah.
So they don't follow the terrain slope, but keep their upright orientation. Then you have a foliage shader which drove the ferns we saw earlier, and you have a replacement for the built-in vertex lid shader, which is used on some of the stones added to the terrain, which support fully physically based shading, including smoothness, normals, and did I add specular? I'm not sure about this.
I saw those
And
stones.
there are quite some possibilities to tweak it. So each prototype lets you adjust the bending, and lets you adjust how the prototype samples the wind texture. You can choose between sample at each vertex, or you can say no, I want to just sample it once at the pivot of the plant. So it gives you the possibility to create a huge variety of bending behaviors on different prefabs or prototypes.
Right, I just had a comment that I'm not walking around checking for colliders. I'm going to do that now. Right, we got a couple of questions in. Patron Strain was asking about the underwater. You're saying, can you apply weight to an object and have that as a factor for the wind?
If you bring up the grass manager, so select the terrain.
1 second, let me just put this volume down. Select the terrain. Yep. Hang on. I'll click on the right thing.
And then there you'll see the grass manager. On the top section, you'll find the overall settings, like which camera you want to render it to. Oh, no, a little bit down there where the yellow render settings label is. Those are the base settings, so the draw distance, when shall the things start to fade out. You can add shadows to the different prototypes, and there's a lot of optimization features there. So half the instances will fade out earlier than the rest. So you get very dense grass in the foreground and some grass in the background, which will tremendously speed up rendering to not keep the whole density over the whole viewing distance, for example. So this takes place in the upper settings, find on render settings, and then you have the prototypes. Where you see the little thumbnails, and yeah, if you just click on the grass thumbnail, which was the first one, then you see the settings there. You can assign any mesh which you want, a material which usually gets created automatically for you. And then you have in the material, if you open the material editor at the very bottom, it's included in the, you can see the material editor. Then you have the wind, just where your mouse is, a little bit down there, and then you can tweak the wind settings per prototype.
So this needs a lot of playing about with. This is lovely. Oh, guys, we're gonna have to do a tutorial on playing about. They're gonna have to learn how to use this and do a video on this. This has got me excited. Oh, could you stop a wind based on your player collider when you approach a plant?
What?
Could you stop wind based on your player collider when you approach a plant? So as I get up to something, it stops the wind.
Locally stop wind or globally stop wind?
I'm going to assume locally, otherwise the thing will just go weird.
Well, you can stop it globally, of course. It does not support local changes to the wind right out of the box. But you certainly can do your own hack and add support for something like this as well.
Damn it, man, this is beautiful. Well, there's the stones.
There are the stones, yeah.
There's the stones. Mark, the difference between Advanced Foliage Shader 4 and 5. Great question. I asked the same thing. That's why it's a great question. Advanced Foliage Shader 4 is for people that are using the old Unity 4. And he was like, hey, I'm not going to deprecate this because people are still needing it. Like our good old friend Speed Tutor, who still has his games made with Unity 4, because the man's insane sometimes. It's just a lot of effort to move from 4 to 5 or to 2018. And yeah, so he basically he didn't deprecate. I love the fact he didn't deprecate it. So yeah, you can still get Advanced Foliage Shader 4 if you're an old school guy, or you can get 5. And I'm using Unity 2017.4 and I used AFS 5. There isn't an AFS 2017 and I don't reckon you're going to make one, are you? Is there going to be an AFS 2018 when it... Hey, Lars?
Sorry?
Are you going to make AFS 2018?
Well, you mean if I change numbering?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe I will change the numbering. Yes, there will definitely be a version for 2018. I mean, it runs now, but I guess people are asking about lightweight or HD render loop, and when both are out of preview or a little bit more stable in development, then I'll start looking into porting it to the new render pipelines.
This is just ridiculously pretty.
Nice.
It is so pretty. Oh. If you stop wind locally based on your player collider, apply touch bend. That's what you want it for, Sanyo. You want to stick your touch bending when you get up to something.
Well, no, in case you want to add something like touch bending to grass, or to grass rendered like this grass is rendered, then you have to come up with a completely different solution. So, as I mentioned earlier, I will certainly add some kind of touch bending feature using displacement fields. So you all saw the wind demo, which did not really work out because the prefabs were missing for some unknown reasons, but we could see the wind texture that gets sent to the grass instances. It's just a huge displacement texture, and then you would, or I will add on top of that another displacement texture which refers to the position of the player or the position of the enemy or the way a truck took or things like that.
Oh, look, they're back. What the hell? What the hell just happened? Why are they back?
Maybe opening the full demo made some settings which are missing in this thing.
What the hell? Look, it's back. Okay. So, I can show you this demo. Hooray! Alright, so here's the wind. Can you guys see everything nicely? Let's turn off the stats. So if you look at the ground, you can see, here you go, a good view is here from the top, you can see it down. So it's now moving. I don't even need to let go of it and it's following it around. That's beautiful. Do you use CTI to import your trees?
Is it a question for me or for you? Well, I do use it if I import any trees.
If he's asking me, it's just going to make me feel sad. No, I don't use CTI yet. There's so many things I need to use that I don't. Everyone just, look, I'm a bad man, okay? I'm a very bad man. So basically at the moment now, we need Fresh Meat to spend his money on both AFS and ATG for him to be a happy person. Unfortunately for the CTI, the Custom Tree Importer, to give it its full name, as you mentioned that you do need to have a bit of an understanding on modelling, at least to be able to build your trees in the package to import with CTI. Is that correct? So it's not like somebody who's never used Blender or something before can just pick up CTI and away he goes.
No, it's not a modeling solution or a tree generator where you can hit a button 3 or 4 times until you get the tree you ever wanted. It's just, if you have modeled a tree, then it's a model. It's a static model, and you have to add the bending to your model, and the custom tree importer allows you to add bending on the fly based on a hierarchical structure. in which you break up your tree, like trunk, branch, child branch, child branch after child branch, and then leaf plane, and get a really nice bending out of that.
I want to load up the forest now. I've been a good boy this whole time. I have to admit, I've been very well behaved. Okay, I've barely mentioned the forest throughout this, haven't I? So.
No, you have been very quiet about it.
All right. So, when did you start working on the forest? Like, what's the timeline of advanced foliage shader, and the forest?
Timeline. I think I started to work in it. Well, the first time we had contact, that was 4 years ago or 5 years ago. And actually, they asked for something like touch bending. So they used the regular foliage shader, but they wanted to have some kind of interaction with the zombies. So I started to develop this feature, and then I did some tweaks, just a day or so, to show them how to set up the plants to get best bending out of it. And then 1 year later, they came back to me, and of course they asked for something vegetation related things, like we need better billboards for our trees. And then I started to work on the billboards. Just had a contract for about 2 or 3 weeks, but after I delivered the billboards, they asked for, now we need touch bending on the grass as well. And well, trees would look better in general, and then I worked on trees, and then our rocks look a little bit ugly, and we would like to add some kind of wetness to them. And can you look at the skin? Can you look at the hair shader? Do you want better shadows? And in the end, I wrote a complete new rendering pipeline and touched pretty much any pixel on the game.
So basically, it sounds like they started by saying, "Hi, I want hello world," and then slowly kept on going, Could you do this? Could you do that? Could you do this?" And by the end of it, could you make us an entire beautiful world and do everything? I need to try that sometime. Okay, here we go. I've just woken up. I'm dead. This is now actually on full. This is no longer in early access, is it?
No, it's been released 4 weeks ago or so.
Okay, I want to eat some food, just so we can actually walk around. We'll take some pills. There you go. So, are these CTI trees?
Half of the trees are CPI trees. So the mesh trees are. The billboards are nearly CPI trees.
Nearly?
Well, it's using an early version of the current billboards shader and script that comes with CTI. That's touch bending.
Yeah, it's lovely. So this is like not exactly AFS, but like a custom for them, or is this AFS like exactly how AFS works?
No, it's pretty much AFS. I just wrote a slightly cheaper lighting function for that.
Really?
Yeah.
But it looks good. Look at this, I'm hitting it and it bends as I hit. So that's you as well. Hang on, let me combine these. Combine. There we go. Got my... So here I'm poking at this. So this is exactly the same as the touch bending. Is me hitting it with a pointy stick.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the grass? Is this ATG like type grass or is this...
No, this is still built in Unity grass, but using a custom shader and the touch bending solution, which is barely visible because the grass is so sparse due to the fact that in case you add denser grass to using Unity's grass solution, it'll spike every second. But the most likely the PS4 version will use ATG to render the grass because it's well, you can't play it with Unity's built-in grass without getting spikes every second.
So the logic of this, so this grass here, the touch bending on this grass, as I move away from it, sometimes I can see that I've got, there you go. That's interesting. So would that work with ATG or would that wouldn't be possible?
That will be possible, yeah.
Oh, I want it. Okay, these don't have touch bending on, do they? Oh, they do.
It's grass, so it's using the grass touch bending. That's a plant. It uses AFS touch bending.
I'm going to kill this bird. Oh shit, missed him.
It doesn't support touch bending.
Oh, the bird.
Yeah.
Why doesn't the bird support touch bending? I want my money back.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh
you
man.
have to ask the art director for this.
So basically, now that I've got ATG and AFS in my project, I can make something that looks better than the Forest.
You can, of course.
Do you hear that, everyone? There you go, fresh meat. If there's an advertisement for you to want to get ATG and AFS, then I think that says it all, mate. And I'm going to be... Oh, there's so many tutorials and things that I want to do. I'm supposed to be making a bloody computer game. Stop distracting me. Okay, I'm going to have to justify some of this, because obviously in a Wild West desert, it makes sense that I need to have all of this stuff in my desert biome. I'm also going to do a forest biome in my game where you're in the forest like this and you'll be camping and doing stuff. So this, I need to learn how to use all this stuff so that I can make my forest biomes as lovely as the forest, to put it that way. What is this Lux thing that you've got on the store? Pro Lux. If I go to Forst, hang on, let me go back in. I need to go back to advertising your stuff, because if I stick in the forest for too long, I will never leave. Have a cactus bend, exactly.
So looking at Lux right now.
So let me.
The forest uses Lux.
Oh, the forest is using Lux.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's go back into advertising. So this is just like the off the shelf Lux, no customizations.
No, it's It's a pre-release version of Lux we are using there.
So it's even better, the one that you got on the store now.
Yeah, it's got a lot more features than we use here in the game. So here it drives the skin shading, which is default, and the anisotropic shading on the hair. We can't see right now. And all the translucent lighting, of course. And well, Lux on the asset store, it comes with snow and water and many different kinds of shading options.
Oh man. Okay, Lux is another one that I didn't even realize that was yours, that I had on the. There's so much stuff of your stuff that I've got. It's a bit like Nature Manufacture. I didn't realize that World Streamer was his. That's
Okay.
that's disgusting. That is vile. Okay, let's get out of this because I'm not going to stop playing this game. Okay, exit. Get back into the browser. Right. Add command. Hang on. Add command name. Yeah, there you go. Fresh meat. You can just do add command name. There you go, mate. Let's go and find. Where is it? Forst Asset Store. Lux. 17 euros 87 cents. Let's go down to the bottom because Sanyo taught me that I can click on this button and it changes the currency. $20 unless you're Plus Pro, where you get it for $16. What a bargain. I love Plus Pro giving you such a discount. $20 for Lux Plus. Why is it so cheap? What's the catch? What's wrong with it?
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Hang on a minute. Are you kidding me? I've been asking people how to do better skin lighting for ages, and I've owned this, and I didn't realize that you could do this. Okay, I feel like an idiot.
You can do this.
Okay, going back to the questions about being an asset store developer. You're new to C# and object-oriented programming and stuff.
Yeah.
How? I mean, how? How are you doing? I mean, how long does it taking you to learn how to do all this stuff?
Ages.
So this is not something that you'd like recommend people just dive straight into. Okay, I've got an idea for an asset. I'm just going to pick this up and start learning how to do C# and I'm going to make myself an asset. Learning like Lux, how long did it take you from inception to creation to do Lux?
Oh, that was 3 months or so, I guess.
Sorry, how many?
3 months.
3 months. That's
Yeah.
that's not too bad.
No, I think it's okay. Uh, 1 month was just working on bugs in the shader lab. No, but there are so many different features I've never looked into before I wrote that package.
Wow. You got? Oh, I've got the wrong bloody. Here we go. I had the wrong overlay on OBS. Mate, I'm going to keep you chatting for hours upon hours and upon hours. You've got too much stuff to cover in one interview, one stream. Okay, I'm going to need to start learning how to do these things, and I'm going to need to do a series of videos on your stuff. I hope you don't mind.
No, I don't.
Because there you go. You fell into my trap. I'm going to need to be asking you about 1,000 different questions as I'm playing with this. So your customer support tickets have just drastically increased with just one user. But my word, man, I just feel like a complete numpty. So basically, if you want to make something as beautiful as the Forest, and I'm always waxing lyrical about how much I love that game, you've got Lux, which makes it better than the Forest. You've got Advanced Foliage Shader 5, you've got CTI, and you've got Advanced Terrain Grass. What's this? What's this one here? Color Map Ultra Terrain Shader. What's this?
It's my terrain shader.
You've got your own terrain shader.
I've got my own terrain shader. Yeah.
Okay, I'll allow it. Come on, sell me your terrain shader.
Well, that's not my business, I guess.
What does it do?
Well, it supports parallax mapping and tessellation. It allows you to draw 8 detailed textures within a single draw, and it supports dynamic snow, and it supports dynamic wetness, as well as painted puddles or streams. And it's rather cheap as well.
And it does look pretty, and it's $20. That is pretty damn cheap. Is it compatible with 2017?
It works pretty decent, I guess. Yeah.
Lovely.
No,
Okay.
but the market for terrain shaders got a little bit.
It's a bit saturated, isn't it? But you've got Microsplat, you've got CTS, you've got RTP.
And you've got the color map terrain shader. Yeah, it's quite busy, and I don't know if I will continue working on this. I did some very interesting customer work based on this shader. But yeah, people are asking for, I need 16 detailed textures, or I need 24 detailed textures. But I guess they have never shipped any game for a huge range of different PC configurations.
Yes, I was about to say that.
They probably never have thought about supporting PS4 or things like that, because if you do so, you do not ask such questions. Just like you will not ask for triplanar shading on terrain or things like that. But yeah, it's the asset store. Other people just offer such solutions, and I think it's nothing I will spend much more time on.
You've got a plethora. Well, I was going to say you haven't got a plethora. You've just got a lovely array of different packages and kits. Mate, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to have to let you go. We've got Baldino Boy coming on in a moment, and if I keep you on here, I will never have time for him. Mate, I've got a smile. I don't have a webcam on. If you could see it, I've got a smile on my face that's so big, my face hurts. I have enjoyed myself tremendously. Fun. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for accepting it. Oh man. Okay, my weeks are now going to be made up of playing about with all these kits. Guys, if you haven't already checked out Forst's stuff, or Lars, or stuff called from Forst on the asset, I'm just going to be so confused. So Lars and the asset store publisher name is Forst. There you go. So if you haven't already, !Forst in chat. Thank you, Fresh Meat. You read my mind. It's such a lovely mod. Everyone say thank you to Fresh Meat for being one of the best mods in the universe. Mate, till next time. Everyone, say goodbye and a massive thank you to Lars for popping in.
Goodbye and thanks.
Well, that's it for another live dev interview. Thank you so much to Lars for popping in. We're looking at the amazing stuff that Lars does, really make Unity compete against Unreal, an Unreal beta at the end of the day. Look how beautiful things like the Forest are. And you can catch more of these videos on my live Twitch stream, all the www.twitch.tv/TheMacyCoder. And if you do like these YouTube videos, click on that big juicy red subscribe button down below. To all of your friends and neighbours, we're going to be back again very soon with another live dev interview, and we're going to have Unity reviews, and we're also going to be doing some more game dev. So remember, if you do like it, click it. Till next time. If you want to see more of my crazy videos, click on the left side of your screen now, and down below there's that big juicy subscribe button, and right next to it is the magic bell that if you click it, it will tell you if I've got a new video coming out. Till next time.